Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone had a friggin' awesome weekend. We're getting ready to dive in here with some live seller calls. This morning we've been kind of reviewing our deals and pushing them out and getting used to stuff. But it is time to jump in and get started. So my acquisition coordinator has already started for the morning, and we're going to see if we can pull something this Monday morning, right? And make it happen. So right now, if you guys didn't know, last week during the live, we contracted 3 properties last week during the live, and my acquisition coordinator got a 4th. So we got 4 properties last week, which is super cool. So if you guys want to see some of that stuff, go back and watch them. They're just on Facebook or whatever. The second day was the big day for that. So we're going to jump in and we're going to start off the Monday morning, hot and strong. The people that I'm calling, I'm hitting play right now. So if someone answers, I'll stop. The people I'm calling this morning are, they're not brand new leads, but we haven't talked to them yet. So they go into, if we try to reach out to people a number of times, they go into what's called an attempted bucket.
Hello?
Yeah. Is this Mr. Ferens?
Yes, it is.
Hey, this is Ronald Walker. I was calling about your property in Kentwood.
What about it?
I was wondering if you wanted to sell that property, my man.
Nope.
You don't want to sell?
No, not unless you got about $250,000 in your pocket.
I do have 250 grand in my pocket. I could pay for it, but I'm an investor. I don't know if it's worth 250 grand.
No, you're right. That's why I'm asking a high price. If you want it, you got to pay my price.
Gotcha. If I was to come up to 250, would you own or finance it for me?
Nope.
All right.
So I'll relocate back to Wyoming.
Gotcha. I totally understand, man. Well, hey, I appreciate you taking my call. Have a Merry Christmas.
You too.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Boom. First thing Monday morning. Let me knock this guy out. A lot of people are actually scared of calls like that. Let's see. Not interested. A lot of people are scared of calls like that, but it's not a big deal, right? Like, who cares? Let's kick off and keep going. Especially first thing in the morning, right? And one thing about cold calling or calling in general, as you guys are going through it, if nothing else, I like to say, especially when I get new guys on the team, if nothing else, it builds courage in yourself.
Well,
Hey, is this Kevin?
yes, it is.
Hey, Kevin, this is Ronald Walker. I was calling about your property on Jewett Street.
Okay.
You spoke to my assistant a couple days ago. I was just curious if you still wanted to sell that property or not.
Yeah. Somebody had called and made some.
Yeah, no, it's a lot, right? It's a half acre.
Yeah, it's just yeah, ish.
Okay. Tell me, like, do you want to sell it or no?
Well, yeah, we'd always sell something if it was yeah, I mean, everything's for sale.
Right. What do you want? What do you want for that property?
We'd like to get, well, I'll just tell you what we're asking is 30 grand.
Okay.
Just if you're interested, make an offer.
Okay. I am buying lots. There was one near you that was 5 acres that I just put under contract not too long ago. So, catch me up to speed. What is it sitting there? Like, what's the utility situation? Catch me up to speed on the property. What you guys are thinking?
Pretty much nothing. There's nothing on the property that's usable. It was back when I built houses, we bought it to put a house on it. Had a mobile on it. We took that down. While we were waiting for the government to get all their paperwork in order, the banks looked everything up in 07, 08, and we never went anywhere with the property.
Gotcha. So you got it before 2007, 2008.
Yeah, 6, 7.
Okay.
See, most people think 2008 was the year that the problem started, but it was actually prior to that. It was when the bank started asking for bailout money, which was like late 06, early 07.
Right. Right. Yeah. People
And
just
that's
didn't
what,
feel it until a
yeah,
little bit later.
yeah, and it was, so then financing as a builder, trying to finance, we did builder finance homes. We couldn't get any bank backing and so on. So that's when we just decided to just get out of the building business. And at that point, all we did was just held the properties.
Okay.
And but because it's been so long, I'm gonna assume that if you can find the old well, if you can find the old septic, that is probably not going to pass anything. It's been sitting for 15 years.
Yeah. And it's across the street from the lake, right?
Yeah, it's maybe second, third tier from the lake. Yes.
Okay.
There was some access points. It gets a little sketchy. I'm not going to make a lot of promises with that because the homeowners in the area and the lake association, they get grumbly about access points and
Yeah.
the conflicts that it causes. So I don't want to say that you have a spot of entry and then find out that with rule changes or something that there is no spot of entry, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Are you paying HOA there for the area, or what's that look like?
It's just a lake association. I actually live on one of the adjoining lakes. There's 5 lakes that can be accessed through channels.
Okay.
And I live on one of the lakes in that same lake system.
Yeah.
And we just have a association that it's voluntary, but you just pay your $30-40 a year.
Right.
And, it's for lake quality fishery, various things.
Okay.
It's not a mandatory like a site condo type.
Yeah.
Where everybody has to pay in.
Right. That makes sense. Okay. Lots like this, and I don't, I might not be the right buyer for you on something like this. I am looking for lots, and I like the location. I don't think I can come up to the 30 grand mark. Like, we're trying to pick up stuff like that, essentially between 10 and 25 grand, depending on what it looks like.
Right.
So well, I'm trying to come in a little bit cheaper, but there's no way you'd be in that range, would you?
You might be surprised.
Okay.
We've had it a long time, and because we bought it with a building on it, we paid significantly more than the 30.
Okay.
So no matter what we do, we're going to take a loss. But because we've been selling a lot of property lately, that might not be the worst thing for us.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Capital gains and all that nonsense.
Right. Yeah, you can show it as a loss and kind of offset some of your other stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
So if there's a number that you think might be what you would consider, don't be afraid to present that.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, no, I think that's good. How about we do this? Because if you're willing to work with me, I'm definitely interested, especially with the location. Is it all? I'm looking at it on the map right now. Is it all pretty much wooded, and then you just need to come in there and re-landscape and open up a spot for it? Like, is it overgrown and is there woods around it, or is it clear?
The neighboring properties to the east are wooded.
Okay.
This was. It's more brushy than it is woody there.
Okay.
But that's only because in 15 years, a lot of stuff can grow.
Yeah.
And grow quick.
Yeah.
But it's not, you're not taking oak trees that are like 3 foot in diameter in order to put a house in.
Gotcha.
You're taking something that's like 6 inches in diameter and getting it out of the way.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. All right, brushy and clear. I'm just taking notes while we're talking. And I'm assuming because there's stuff nearby and with the stuff, so electric comes to the property, we would just, it hasn't been touched in, like you said, 15 years.
Correct.
Okay. Well, so I'm the acquisition partner for a couple guys here in the greater Grand Rapids area. So I'm the one who reaches out. So, you know, obviously Christmas is around the corner. We're trying to lock in a few things before the holidays so we can start the new year with. You know, to look at it. I mean, just looking at this and what I'm seeing and, you know, with it being overgrown and stuff like that. I mean, would you take in the low teens if I put together a contract or something like that? Would you do that if I called them and said, "Hey, I have this for the low teens. This is what it would look like." Would you be open to something like that, or?
More than likely, yes.
Okay.
The only thing, my wife and I will take a minute to discuss it, but
of course,
we've had so many discussions on it. It's a formality more than it is a decision that's going to be complicated.
Okay. Well, why don't we do this? Why don't I talk to my guy? And see what we'd be willing to do on something like this. From our end, we do due diligence on everything that we do buy. So, you know, I know some guys will just do a complete, you know, go cold. We do a due diligence on everything. So, but you know, if you're willing to play in the low teens, I think we might be willing to buy it. So I think what the next step would be from my end, and I'd love to hear, you know, from you, is I'd like to call, present this, kind of see, hey, would we be willing to pick this one up? I think we would, just looking at it and where it's at and with it close to the lake, that it's something. One of the things we are going to look at, and just from me looking up, is there's not a ton of new builds, at least that I'm seeing on the market right there. And so that's just part of our due diligence process, right? Is, hey, what would a build look like? I like that you're really close to the lake access, right? Like you're pretty close there. So, so if you guys are open to that, I'll talk to him. What does your day later on today look like if I was to give you a call back after we kind of run stuff, or I throw it by him?
I have a job, but I'm pretty flexible that way. I mean, I can answer the phone call anytime.
Okay. So, yeah, why don't you give me this afternoon? I'm just gonna shoot him a text and see, hey, what do we think for this property? And then we can just go from there. And if it works, man, that'd be awesome. If it doesn't, that's totally cool too.
Right.
But we'll just take it one step at a time.
Okay.
My name, Kevin. My name is Ronald Walker.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll do this, and let me reach out to him, and I'll touch base with you a little bit later today.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, Kevin. I appreciate it, man. Have a good morning and rest of your day. I'll talk to you a little bit later.
Yep. Bye.
Thanks. All right. So first call in the morning. I got my eggs here. We got a hard no. Second call. It was pretty good. He's asking 30. He's willing to take low teens. Let me put some notes in here. How are you guys doing this morning? Everyone doing good? Hope everyone's doing good. Feel free to leave me a comment or ask a question. I'm just going to put notes in here. That was Kevin. I feel like I spoke to that guy already. It's funny because it looked like very similar, but there must have been just another lot that was super similar to this. So follow up today. I'm just gonna add some notes in here. Any thoughts on that one, guys? Was asking for 30. 7. The crash business. So he was an old builder, and his whole business, it looks like, got knocked out. Second tier lake. It's not right on the lake, but it does look like it's got some woods and the brush is built up around it. There is a lake. Association can new build half an acre. Taker willing to accept low teens. Sorry, guys. I apologize. Just putting some notes in here. That way, when I call him back, I'll call him back this afternoon and see if we can lock him in. He actually came in. He told our guy he was asking 35. So don't be afraid. You know, as you're coming through this, people are asking for a lot. Give them a range and then hit them at the bottom of that, right? And don't do it like, hey, you know, do it like, hey, man, there's no way you'd take this, right? And you don't need to beat people up. You can just ask them what they think, where they're at. Let me make sure I remove that. All right. Hot. And I said follow-up date today. Cool. I actually just got another text from a guy who's helping me sell some properties. Douglas Homestead. Smith is vacant. Homestead are occupied with tenants. Rentals 4 years. 37. 2. Other is 37. Smith should be a good deal. Sweet. Sorry guys. This is just part of doing it. Just wanted to get one interested. So let me write the address down so I don't lose track. 50 Jewett Street. Cool. I hope you guys find this valuable. If there's something I can do to make it like better for you, just let me know. We can make it easy. Sorry, this is my
Oh,
yeah, is this Mr. Martinez?
yes.
Hey, this is Ronnie Walker. I was calling about your property in Grand Rapids on Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
Are you open to selling that property or no?
What?
Do you want to sell that property or no?
No silent. No.
No?
No.
Okay. I appreciate your time.
Okay.
Bye. So that one, it actually says in my notes, it says they speak Spanish only. So, let's see. I probably shouldn't eat on a live, but you guys are this is just raw and real. I'm not necessarily trying to do anything special or do an education, so I apologize, guys. I haven't seen inside, but it's would People are picking up. I can't even eat my toast. So this morning.
Bueno,
Yeah, is Alicia there?
this is Alicia.
Hey, Alicia, this is Ronald Walker. I was calling about your property in Grand Rapids on Quarry.
Uh-huh.
You spoke to my assistant the other day. Do you want to sell that property or no?
No, thank you.
You don't want a cash offer on it?
No, right now.
Okay, I appreciate your time.
Okay.
Right back. The other cool thing, so guys, when people answer and they say yes and then they tell us no with the attempted, so it's cool. One of the things you can do, so like in our system, we have a follow-up. And when you go in and you can select something as not interested, so like you go to not interested, and then we actually do a follow-up sequence. So you hit that follow-up sequence and it'll start sending them a text. And what happens is a lot of people who call and they were interested at one time, but things changed. Because in the system, it says she wanted a cash offer for 145. I was her initial asking price. Is circumstances change. They're no longer as motivated as they were. And so a lot of times selling is a timing issue, especially with Christmas and a lot of things happening. They just don't want to deal with it. So it's like, no, I don't want to sell right now. And I'm essentially a cold call, right? So it's just, so if you can just follow up, and you can do it in like a recurring time basis where it's like, hey, in 30 days, they get a text message. In 45 days, they get a text message. You can do emails and RVMs too. We just do automated text messages and it literally hits them. And it's a way of following up without just like calling them over and over again. Because that's one thing that I struggle with. What's the building on the back of Smith you're talking about? And that follow-up, guys, a lot of wholesaling is just the right time. Very few do you put on right available. I am on a live, actually. I am on a live with sellers. Live. Facebook Live. We can jump on quick. Let me finish this up. And if you do the follow-up, right? If you do the follow-up, whenever that timing strikes again, you'll be there is the idea, right? So that way no one else hits. Because how is it that so many people cold call and one person tells someone no and they tell someone else yes? It's just a timing issue. A lot of it is timing issues when it comes to cash property. So sweet. After 11 is perfect. So that's perfect. And so just continue the follow-up, right? Even if someone tells you no, that doesn't mean it'll be no in the future. And that lady, there's no way she's going to remember talking to me at all. So you just keep following up.
Hello?
Hey, is this Cindy?
Yes, it is.
I just took a huge bite of toast. I apologize right when you answered. My name's Ronald Walker. I was calling about your property in Kalamazoo on Avondale.
It's pending right now.
Okay.
I'm waiting on an earnest deposit that should be coming through today.
Okay, cool. Well, congratulations on that. When's your guys' closing date?
Probably in less than 2 weeks because it's a cash sale and the title company already has the purchase agreement.
Okay, cool. Sweet. Well, I appreciate your time. If what I'll do is if you don't mind, I'd love to follow up with you right before Christmas. I'm looking for a property, and if they don't perform, I'd love to be a backup for you.
Well, yeah, sure. If you see it come down from Facebook, you'll know that I sold it, though. You don't have to bother, but
okay, I'll look it up on Facebook. I didn't see it there. We just we reach out to properties in the area. I kind of pull ones that fit our criteria. So I'll look it up and I'll just put a ping on it and see if it comes down or not.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Cindy.
You're welcome. Bye.
Please leave your message for 269-599-1910.
All right. I'm going to be done eating so you guys can you can jump in so you don't have to watch me eat. So far this morning, we've got one property that's open. It's a lot on a lake. So it'd be a lake property. Everyone else has told us no so far. We've talked about follow up a little bit. You've watched me eat a little bit of food. And we're just plugging away. We're just going to call. Like I said, I'm going to jump on here. You guys can see it as you like to. You guys can ask questions as you want to. With sales, I think I've shared this before. But with sales, it's a lot of conversation, it's a lot of questions, and then it's a lot of stories as explanation. Now, I'm not necessarily the best at stories, but what I like to think of is people who are smiling are people who will sign contracts, right? People who understand are people who move forward with this. If we complicate it, people don't, right? If it's complicated, people just shut down. They want to say no. You can overcome some of that with credibility and with people who feel good working with you. So I like to say, especially if you're getting into it, reading sales books is great and jumping into techniques, but knowing what you want. Hi, is this Alma?
This is?
Hey, Alma, this is Ronald Walker. I was calling you about your property on Porter Hollow in Rockford, the acreage.
Oh, okay. Let me have you talk to my husband about that.
Okay, no problem.
Mm-hmm. Tony, it's about the property in Porter Hollow. Yeah, he'll be right here.
Yeah, no problem. You guys having a good morning so far?
So far.
I love it.
Yeah.
You ready for Christmas? You got all your Christmas shopping done yet?
No.
Hello?
Hey, is this Mr. Bing?
Yes.
Hey, I was calling about the property there on Porter Hollow.
Yes, sir.
Do you guys want to sell that or not really?
Yeah, well, I'd be willing to sell it.
Nice. What do you guys want for it?
About 200.
200. Okay. Can you catch me up to speed on it? The utilities, kind of the situation, what's going on with it, all the fun stuff?
Well, the utilities are on two streets there. There's frontage on Porter Hollow and Northland Drive.
Okay.
There's 5+ acres there, kind of sparsely wooded. There's a well on the property, the portion that comes out to Northland Drive, but it's been abandoned for years. So it's in a basement type hole there, a little bit of concrete around it. And other than that, it hasn't been used.
Did there used to be a house on it or no?
I really don't know. I've lived up here since '69, and I haven't ever seen a house on it. So.
Okay. And is it just, you mentioned, separate spaces. Is there multiple easements or is it multiple lots or is it all just one? What's that going on?
There's two accesses to it. There's frontage on Porter Hollow.
Okay.
And there's about, 250, 300 feet on Northland Drive.
Nice. Two areas. Okay. And then you said that the water is not city water; it's a well, correct?
Right.
Okay. And then
everything basically north of 12 Mile is well and septic.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not super familiar with all those details. I actually, I basically call around and I have a builder that will build it on the back end. So I'm kind of the acquisition arm for that. So I'm reaching out because we are looking for a couple, before Christmas so we can start next year. at 200,000, are you guys at all flexible on that price, or that's a little bit more than what we are aiming to pay? I mean, I don't know if I could come up to that. Are you flexible on that amount, or what do you think?
Well, see, I've developed some property here, and I'm getting 50 to 65 for it.
Per acre?
Yeah, per
Okay.
lot.
Okay. Yeah, if if we were to come up, if we could pay that, and I don't know if we can, but if we were, would you be willing to like owner finance it to me, or?
Yeah, we might be able to work something out.
Because that might open it up a little bit. I'm trying to find lots in the area to like confirm some of the lot prices and what that will look like. For stuff, because obviously the new builds, it all comes down to, hey, what do we think the new builds could sell for? What are the different things there in the area, that are selling. So I'm just, man,
everything I've seen around here has been 300 plus. So
right. Well, and that's where we would have to take that 5 acres and essentially subdivide it, right, and then try to put the multiple houses on it. That's in order to make some money on that side. So, so you're looking essentially 50, 60 an acre. You guys are willing to do 200. I don't think I'm the right buyer for you at that amount, at least on the cash side. I would probably, even if we were to do some type of financing or such, and you guys were to hold it, I'd probably still need to be a little bit less than that, even on a financing, just from what I'm seeing. I'm trying to find like additional lots there, but I'm just having a hard time finding them while we're on the phone. Is 200 the top price, or if I came in at, I'm not promising, but if I came in at like a 150 to 180 price, that I'm assuming that's an absolute no for you guys.
Yeah, I could work with 175.
You could work with 175.
170, yeah.
Okay. So let me do this. I'm having a hard time just finding the lots and the lot prices while we're on the phone. I usually like to pull them up and look at it while we're talking. I can talk to my partner and see if that's something we would be, like I said, we are looking for some spots that we can get before Christmas. And we can start the new year. I don't know if we would be able to come in even at that 170 mark, but let me see. He knows a little bit more about like the different areas and what we can develop it and build it for and what that process would look like.
I don't have it listed, so.
Okay. What's your guys' schedule look like? If I give you a call back either later today or tomorrow, would that be okay? And if I run it by him?
I'm retired right now, so I'm pretty well around. So.
Okay. And are you Tony?
Stony.
Stony. Okay.
Yeah.
Stony. Bang. Awesome. Well, hey, okay, cool.
No E.
No E. SOSTONY.
Yep.
Cool, Stony. Well, my name's Ronald Walker. So I'm gonna take a look at it. I don't know if I'm the right guy for you or not, but I can reach out to my partner, run it by him, see what we'd be willing to pay, and I'll just tell you what we're willing to pay. And if you can't do that, we'll go from there. And if you can, hey, I'd love to be able to purchase it from you guys. All right, man. Have a good one.
Here. Yeah.
Bye. All right. So that's in a really good area of Rockford, which is like North Grand Rapids. I do think he said he's over in the 170. It's 5 acres. It is developable from what I can see, but I can't find any information about it. I'm just gonna have to do that. I'll probably run it by one of my dispo guys, one of the guys we partner with, and just see what he thinks about that plot, that 5 acres. Let's see, because it is kind of weird. It's a little bit higher of a price too for acreage. 170 grand for 5 acres. It is literally in a really great area, but. Alma. Any thoughts? Let me jump over to you guys real quick. I like the eating part. Sorry, man. Hey, it's breakfast. I jumped in. The wife brought it to me while we were going. So I guess you got to listen to me smack my lips and just put up with that. So let's go. Put this as hot. Contact date is today. I'll take 70 for it. He'd probably come down a little bit more. Water as well. 2 access points. 2 access points is pretty sweet. So that one will probably want to come down a little bit, quite a bit cheaper. I don't think 170 is even going to work it. If we did owner finance, maybe, but even that, I'm not sure if that will work out. So, I'm actually going to send this to my guy. All right. So remove that. We'll jump back in. So this is just like real, like I'm literally doing stuff as we're going. So I have a property on Lexington in Kalamazoo. I have under contract right now. We are planning on buying it. We might wholesale it, but we're actually planning on buying it and doing a small flip. Doesn't need a ton of work. I need to get the lender a couple of details. So yeah, it's just land. A couple of details. So that's what they're sending here. But yeah, a lot of times as you're just working it and just playing, you know, like I just send text messages to people. We talk in Slack. I just sent one of my dispo partners. I just sent him a message on that land to see what he was thinking. He sent me a message back. You know, it's probably not something we're going to be able to do, but he's going to look at it and go from there. But a lot of the acquisitions, a lot of this game, guys, is just talking to people. It's just making dials and going. Like this morning, just to kind of give a picture. So we've made 15 dials so far this morning. If you guys don't know, smartphone is freaking awesome, especially if you guys use Podio. You can connect your Podio statuses to smartphone. And then like you can go in and when you ever have new leads, you can just put them in a dialer and just dial them. That way you don't have to manually do it, right? Because for instance, I've called 16 people now this morning and I haven't had to manually dial. I just hit play and it goes. And we've talked to 4 people, right? I've had 2 actual good conversations, both of them on land. So that's just something to consider, right? Like something to think about as you're going through is how can you maximize time? If you've watched the movie with Will Smith, The Pursuit of Happiness, when he's doing the internship, he specifically has to leave to get
call
his
has been
son.
forwarded to an
And when
automatic
he-
voice message system 6167808.
He has to go get his son. And so in the movie, it talks about how the guy, he's like, hey, I'm going to call people this way. I'm going to call the list in reverse. I'm not going to hang up because I found I get more seconds. That's what you get with the dialer, right? A lot of people, it's like, man, how can I make 30 calls in a day? Well, sometimes it can be hard here. And the dialing, there's a mental block. Hello?
Hello?
Hey, is this Jay?
Who?
Jay?
No.
I think I got the wrong number, man.
All right.
All right. Sorry about that. That was absolutely so that was a lead that I don't know how it got into my system actually. My acquisition coordinator was looking to buy a house in Connecticut, and that got put in. He uploaded some stuff so he could call him, and it somehow made it into his leads. Must have accidentally clicked something, so we're gonna do wrong. That was Connecticut. He reached out to him to try to buy a personal house. So let's jump back in. But in the movie, he's like trying to maximize his time, right? So he can do the maximum amount of productivity while he's talking to people. That's a huge part of this game. It's just maximizing your time.
Hello?
Hey, is this James?
Yes, this is.
Hey, James, this is Ronald Walker. I was calling about your property on Leahy.
Okay, hi.
Hey, do you want to sell that property or no?
I'm willing to, yes.
Okay.
Somebody called me. You probably who called me last week?
Yeah, it's probably
Somebody called
my
me last
assistant
week.
my assistant probably called you last week, and I'm following back up to see if you really wanted to sell or not. I'm the owner of the company.
Okay. Okay.
I'm a local guy. It's not nothing big. I'm just a local guy who buys properties. So tell me about the price. Tell me about the house, bro. What do you like? How much do you want for it? What's the deals?
I haven't been looking at. That's the thing. They get called out of blue. I'm like, well, just make me an offer. I don't know what, things are selling for, and it's a 2-bedroom house. I'm gonna probably lose you here in a second. I gotta get in my truck and get going here.
No worries.
But it should cancel over.
Is someone living there?
I'm willing to. It's something I'm gonna be willing.
Is someone living there, or is it vacant?
So, I'm not. A guy called me and asked, and I'm like, I don't know how much. I wasn't looking to sell it, but
yeah,
So okay, I got you. So
is someone living there, or is it vacant?
I got somebody. There's somebody living in there for about 4 years now.
Okay.
So that's what's there. It's got a basement. It's not wet or anything. Gas furnace, not an octopus. I'd redone some ceilings in there. Walls are in pretty good shape. It's got no garage. It's got a little shed that goes along with it. It's 2-bedroom, 1 bath, kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
It's basic old home, front porch on it. Across the front of it.
So a year ago, I actually purchased a house on Leahy. It was not livable. It was just a small thing. I actually purchased it for $1,000. So I'm not saying that's what I'm doing yours, because that one was falling apart. But are you thinking like between like 15 and 30, or like what purchase price are you thinking?
Probably, I say at least. I think it's at least 30 easily, but
okay.
I mean, it's not falling apart as junk. It's
right.
But,
So on 1849 Mans, I'm just looking right there in the area with the 2 bedrooms. So
okay.
1835 Mans, I just lost it. Where'd it go? Or 1849, excuse me, land sold for 35.6 on the market. So that one looks to be in pretty good condition. People are living there. It's got hardwood floors. You know what I'm saying? Like that one was fairly nice. That was a cash transaction on the market, so they paid realtor fees and such. There's one that was in worse condition. Doesn't look like someone was living there on 1869 Mans. That one sold for 17.
Okay.
So yeah, I would probably just kind of looking in. I don't know if I could come up as an investor, but if I give you a straight deal, I mean, would you work in the high 20s with me, or what are you thinking?
Yeah. Well, is this your number to reach you at?
Yeah, this is my cell phone number.
Okay. What I'm gonna do, I'll, tell you people call all the time. I'm gonna program your name and stuff with this number, and I'm gonna do that. Okay.
Okay, that's fine. My name's Ronald Walker. So just to kind of do, because I don't want to hound you, right? Like I'm looking for properties.
That's why I said
I'm a tiger in the woods. So.
I get it. It was time valuable. I mean, I haven't been answering numbers that aren't. I just happened to answer this one. I wasn't looking. It was a 616, and I didn't have the number stored. Usually, I won't answer them.
Okay.
So I don't know if you've been trying to reach me. I know there's been numerous ones, but I never really looked down what the numbers were.
Right.
But I'm going to put your name to this number here.
Cool.
There's nothing I'm going to do now during this year. Be honest. It'd be after the first of the year.
Okay.
Once, I got a surgery after, the end of this week. I'm going to be laid up for a couple of weeks, do some researching stuff at that point. But, next year.
Yeah. Why don't I just make a note?
Opportunity.
Yeah, why don't I just make the note to call you after the first of the year sometime? We can just touch base and we can just go from there. If you don't want to sell, that's cool.
Back. I'm not talking to anybody else, and there's just some things going on in my life, so I just want to take care of them first, and then it's something I talk about. If I think, hey, it's worth it, I'll do it. If not, I'll be upfront and say no, and I'm not going to waste your time and beat around. I mean, so, okay.
Sounds good, man. I appreciate it, James. Hey, I'm Ronald Walker, by the way. Ronald Walker.
Okay. I got you written down. I'm going to put it in the phone after I hang up here.
All right. Well, hey, have a Merry Christmas, and I hope everything's safe for that surgery, bro.
All right. Thanks, man. All right. Have a good one. You too. All right.
Bye. James Weatherby. See what I mean about timing issues, guys? Sometimes it's just timing. So this guy, he's not super motivated. I'm gonna put him on like a follow-up text sequence. Whoa, not a realtor follow-up text sequence. We follow up with realtors too. Actually, I'm getting ready to do that. That's not actually true. We put that in there. Seller. Start. Cool. And let me put a date. Has contacted, follow up. Week 3 in January. The other thing, guys, is I don't know if you guys have heard of framing before. If you haven't, if you guys haven't heard of framing, there's a book. Like, seriously, if you haven't, pick up this book called Pitch Anything. Sorry, there's a $10 tag. I put values on each book, and I actually pay my kids to read these books. So they can come down here and pick a book, and that's actually how they earn money. I don't do allowances or anything. So. Is Leonid there?
I think you got the wrong number.
All right, I was calling about a property on North Lawn.
Yeah, I think you got the wrong number.
All right, I apologize, man. Thanks.
All right, no problem.
Bye. Anyway, part of framing is like when you can tell people are want to get off the phone, just like sit there and just act like, hey, we're having a conversation for a long time, right? You can use words and you can change the way people think. You can go against their frame, but just like acting like, hey, we're having a conversation. Don't go with them according to their frame. Like, oh, I need to get off the phone. Okay, let's get off the phone. Sit down, ask a question, slow down a little bit, and it'll gradually change the frame. And if you can maintain that confidence, it goes really, really well. So it's pretty cool how that works, right? Where it's just like the frame control.
Hello?
Yeah, is Eric there?
No.
All right, I was calling about a property on Edgelawn. Is this the right number or no? I'm interested in buying that property.
Number. Go for it.
What's that? Oh, okay. Let's see. That guy. It's what happens when you cold call people. They don't want to talk to you. It's not that dude was the right dude, by the way. Edgelawn, Kentwood. Air cannon. And go like this. We're gonna go follow up today. Anyway, back if you guys were following the story on the pursuit of happiness, is just maximizing your time, right? Like being able to call these people and really, really being able to maximize the time. Like I've made 23 calls this morning. It's been nearly an hour. What we've been live for 50 minutes, right? So we've been live for 50 minutes. And is this Jan? Oh, called, but she hung up right away.
You were down here, remember that?
I don't know what happened there. That was weird. But maximizing your time, like we've been live for almost an hour. We've called 25 people. We've had a few conversations, right? Nothing major. 3, I would say, lead style conversations, 2 land, 1 property in Muskegon. But the more that you can drum up, right? Like my standard, let me put it that way, is I want to have 5 good conversations a day minimum. It's not my goal, but that is like, hey, we got to do this every single day because it just adds things to the pipe. From what we're
3 1 8 2 1 0 7 6 2 is not available.
The voicemail. The other cool thing about a dialer is you can just hit the voicemail button and you can go from there. Most investors would pay less. Be retail, even if the house is. But that's a big part of this game, right? Like if I'm calling here, which I don't have a problem calling on my phone, right? Like sometimes you need to call on your phone and you need to make it happen. I actually have a lady I'm supposed to follow up with on an owner finance deal. It's like a $400,000 purchase I got to follow up with. Hey, is this Charles?
Hello?
Yeah, is this Charles?
Yeah.
Hey, Charles, this is Ronald Walker. I was calling about your property on West. You spoke to my assistant. Do you want to sell that house?
I was thinking about it. Right now, just I actually have to talk to the wife, but yeah, we actually planning on selling it.
So catch me up to speed. What are you hoping to accomplish? You guys working with a real estate agent, or are you guys planning on selling it yourselves? Like, what's the deal?
Well, I got one that was coming up. We actually thinking we're gonna do it probably around the springtime, just because we're out of space here. Plus, I'm looking to move closer to work, so probably be moving over into Grand Rapids, get us a bigger house and stuff and everything.
Nice, very cool, very cool. Well, I'm a local investor. I'm actually out of Grand Rapids, so you'll be moving closer to me. But what would you, if it's closer to spring, which is totally cool? What price point are you guys looking at? Would you want to sell to an investor? Or are you planning on fixing it up and putting it on market? Like, what's the plan?
Well, it would just kind of depend on what I would get out of it. Like right now, when I last got it looked at, they told me the starting point, I guess right now it's about 140 for 140, but if we put some more money into it for us doing things, I guess that would kind of depend, because we was actually thinking about maybe putting in some hardwood floors in here and taking out the carpet and stuff. I just recently put a new bathroom in, so
Nice.
just I'm not really sure.
Right. So you,
Just
so,
actually waking up here, so.
oh man, I'm sorry. I didn't wake you up, did I?
Yeah, actually.
Oh, I apologize. I apologize, man. Well, you know, I am looking for property. It doesn't necessarily sound like I'm the right buyer for you, but since I got you on the phone, I don't mind just kind of talking, talking through it. I see there's lots of stuff all over, from cash prices, from, I mean, basically investors are buying them essentially, in the mid 80s, and then stuff on the market's going all the way up to, 182, depending on what's done on the property, right? So
Right.
there's a pretty big range there. If you didn't have to put in any of the work to try to, put your money on that side and save on realtor commissions, and we were to do a straight deal, I mean, would you give me a little bit of a discount or no?
Yeah, I mean, because actually that might actually work for both of us if we was going to do that.
Why would that work?
Well, for one, it would be a quick sale. I wouldn't have to deal with all the hustle and bustle of dealing with, people and having to wait to see if things go through as far as on their end and stuff, and dealing with the realtor and just money wise, period.
Right. So let me ask you this, like, if we were to do a straight deal, you didn't have to pay the realtor. If I covered the closing costs for you, if all you had to worry about was paying off the mortgage and the taxes, I mean, what do you think you and your wife would be open to? Like, an offer wise, what would you take?
I'd say probably about 110 or so.
About 110.
Yeah.
Could you come down a little bit more on that, or is that about where you're at?
I would really have to talk to her to see.
Of course.
But I mean, she negotiates sometimes. She'd be negotiable, just kind of depending.
Okay. All right. I'm just gonna.
I hear right now.
Yeah.
But,
I'm just gonna say ballpark 110. Let me ask you this: if and this probably based on what you're telling me, I don't know if this will work or not, but if I could come up to 110, and obviously, it doesn't sound like you guys are wanting to sell before Christmas anyway, right? Like, it's not something that's there. So we're not trying to make a deal happen right now, but come that, would you guys be willing to, like, owner finance it to me?
what do you mean by that?
So, a lot of times we can either pay cash, and when we do cash, I have to get it cheaper, right? I need some equity in the property, just being an investor. But if you're willing to play monopoly with the property and kind of hold it and basically give me a mortgage, I'd pay you, a down payment and a monthly payment for the house. What it does is it keeps me from having to bring all $110,000 in cash, or having to go to the bank and work with banks, and you essentially be the bank for me, and then you guys get a monthly payment and then maybe a little bit down based on whatever your cash needs are, and you turn this into an investment for you. Would that be something you guys were open to, or not? Not really. Do you think the wife would like it, or no?
I don't know. It's like, once again, I would definitely have to talk to her about it. I'm not sure as far as your schedule and stuff, but if you want to call me back anytime later in the week, probably I say after about 12:30, 1 o'clock, she would be here as well, and then we could actually put something together.
I think that's a good plan. And when you guys think of, like, selling, are you thinking like January, February? I mean, what's the time frame that you guys think you're on?
I would say probably March, actually, because at that point the kids would pretty much be almost done with school. Anything else would probably be done online, and we could go ahead and go.
Okay, so around March. Touch base. What's Charles? What's your wife's name?
Latashi.
Latashi. All right. All right. Well, Charles, my name is Ronald Walker. I'm definitely open, especially if we could work something together with owner financing. I think that could be a really good opportunity, not only for you guys, but also for me being able to purchase in that area. If with cash, I think what you guys are asking is definitely reasonable. I'm just not sure I could come up to there with cash because I like to buy when we buy and hold to do it with owner financing. So let's do this. Why don't you let me reach out to you later on this week, and maybe between you and your wife and me, we can just talk about it and see if we're on the same page. And if we are, I'd love to figure out what that time frame looks like, and maybe work with you guys from now until March to buy your property.
All righty. Well, I will definitely put your number here on my phone, and we can just get with you a little later this week.
All right, my man. Well, hey, I apologize for waking you up. Go get some eggs or some toast, or maybe a donut or something since I did it. And I hope you have a wonderful day, man.
All right, thanks. You too.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
All right, so 713 West. How we doing, guys? You doing good? You doing good? Let's make this happen. Let me find this guy and make some notes. So they're not looking to sell for a little while. If I could encourage everyone who's here, find out and come up with a process, or just call people every time you tell them you're going to do it. I'm just going to put a follow-up for Thursday. Because if you can learn to just kind of touch base with this, even though this isn't a deal right now, like in March, if I just talk to them once a week in March, I might be able to pull 20 grand out of it, right? And one additional deal out of a property like that, guys, they just add up, right? If you follow up with people and they're like, man, it was really cool working with you. Like every time I talked to you, you were super cool. They might be like, hey, my mom has a property. I'm going to buy a property just like that. I'm buying one right now. And she's like, hey, would you be open? Last time we talked on Friday last week, she's like, hey, would you be open to buy this other property? It's a cheaper one. It's $200,000, so in the $500,000 range. I was like, totally. I'd totally be open. She's like, well, this is what it looks like. And it was, it needed a lot more work. But we're open and we're going to talk about it. I don't have it under contract yet, but it's something that we just need to follow up with. And it's something that can make us a good amount of money, all because you're just willing to talk with people, right? Not an appointment date. Trying to add a follow-up in here. All right, so seller interested. So I got a follow-up sequence in here specifically that says seller interested but wants to touch base in a few weeks, few months. And so that way it's just like it's a cultivating. It cultivates them. So let's see. I'm going to jump over here. I actually haven't looked at you guys in a while. Go here, see if there's anybody got any comments. How's everyone doing? Are you guys making calls this morning? What are you guys doing? Oh, what was the name of that book? Pitch Anything. That's right. I wonder why I don't see your comments. If there's any. I jumped into my own live. Sorry. What type of list are these leads on, Coral? So these are actually these are new leads. So these have already been cold called, right? So like from my lists, I have cold callers, and the cold callers call them, pre-qual the information, and then put them into leads in my system. Okay. I use a company. I don't remember where they're located, but it's called Call Geeks. They've worked out really well from us. There's a lot of other companies. I don't get anything from them for that, but they put them in. As far as lists that we pull, I do high equity, free and clear, unknown equity, all from List Source. Okay, so I pull those and I put them into a data management software called REI Sift. Then I go to PropStream, and from PropStream, I pull all PropStream's lists. And so those lists will be tired landlord. You can pull pre-probates from there. I also pull land, specifically because I'm looking for land. That's why you see a lot of them in there. Land, and then trying to think, tax liens, tax delinquent. I don't do a whole lot of foreclosures. There's not a lot in my area, but basically I pull those from PropStream. There's some other services that you can do. You can go to the counties and you could do like code violations, specifically trash and debris or vacant house. You can do that. But if you have a good data management software, Coral, you can actually pull vacants directly from that software. So like an REI SIF, you can filter by vacant. Then from there, those lists get skip traced. They go to the cold callers, and the cold callers call every day, right? They call, they put leads in the system, and then those leads are processed. They come in as new leads, and I call them, right? Just like I'm calling them now. My acquisition coordinator is actually calling them today. Me and him, we take turns every other day doing new leads. And then if they are contacted, they get put into a status, right? It could be hot, it could be warm, it could be cold, automated follow-up, it could be not interested, it could be removed from list, right? It could be sold to somebody else, referred to a realtor, sold, or already listed, whatever that is, it goes into a status. And then from there, if we call them and we don't get a hold of them, they go into an attempted bucket. And so that's what I'm calling actually right now, is I'm calling the attempteds that are new leads, but we've attempted them before at least once and sometimes multiple times. And so that bucket, like just to kind of give you a picture, a bucket is 282 leads, right? So 282 leads came in and they just stayed and attempted because we haven't been able to get a hold of them after the cold caller came in. And so that's what that is, right? It's nothing super special. So the people I'm calling are not straight cold call leads, but they are, especially the attempted. Some of these haven't been talked to in weeks since they became, so they kind of are a cold lead, but we know at some point they raise their hand and say, hey, I'm open to selling. Those are who I'm talking to. So these are not straight cold call leads. We do direct mail as well. Right now with our team and with things are going, we're kind of adjusting things. So we don't have any direct mail out at the moment. But the way that comes is that will actually ring a line that will ring either my acquisition coordinator or myself. Or sometimes we'll set it up where it does a simultaneous ring and we'll answer it and go from there. But right now, just for schedule wise, and because we have a lot, this is easy, right? I just jump on. I do essentially 2 to 3 hours of cold calling a day, or calling leads a day, not cold calling. And then we work it. And then from there, we currently have 11 properties. That's not true. We have 13 properties. Yeah, we have 13 properties under contract. I own 2 of them that are in process right now. And then we're getting ready to buy another flip. And then we are wholesaling a good chunk of the others. And then one of those I'm actually keeping. It's 13 acres in Coopersville. I'm actually keeping for myself. It's got a rental property on there. And it's 13 acres, but I'm keeping that one myself. We got a fairly good deal on that property. $300,000 purchased, $500 a month for 15 years. So 15 grand up front. So I'm going to keep that one. It's real close to my brother and it's got some cool storage and, it's got a little bit of hunting. So I hope that helps. That's my process, bro. That's the leads. That's what it looks like. Some of these ones are also JV leads. Speaking of which, actually, let's just keep going this. I do have 2 JV leads I got to follow up with. One came from Facebook. Another one came from a buddy of mine in Fort Worth. I called his, but I got a voicemail and he said he's going to follow up. I gotta call again. So I hope that helps. Those are the leads that we're calling this morning. The other thing, guys, is if you're getting started, I don't know where everyone's at. I don't know where everyone's at in their business, but so dispo is a huge, it's a huge part. Like once you get a deal, you got to sell a deal. One of the things I would highly recommend if you're getting started and you're trying to figure out how to make this work and you're trying to wholesale is get very consistent on your working new leads, whether that's cold calling every day for 2 hours, whether that's getting cold callers and then calling the new leads, whether that's driving for dollars. I don't care what it is. Figure out your marketing and figure out your call time. And then for the dispo, go on Facebook, just like we are now. Go on Facebook.
Yeah, Oklahoma, this is Bruce.
Hey, Bruce, this is Ronald Walker. I was calling about your property on Lincoln.
Lincoln Lake Avenue?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. How can I help you?
Yeah, so my assistant reached out to you the other day and got your information. But are you wanting to sell that property or no?
No, I just know it's a scam, and whoever you're hooked up with keeps on calling me over and over and over again. I was trying to dig into it so I could call them out on it and get that taken care of.
Okay. What do you mean you thought it was a scam?
Well, it was a scam or whatnot. They've got my call list, and they keep on calling, wondering if it's. And I'm guessing you're a realtor and you're hooked up with this company. What do you know the name of that company?
Which I'm not quite sure because like there's my assistant I think reached out to you at some point too. So
Okay, so then what's the name of your company then?
I mean, I'm just a local investor.
Yeah, I get it. So there's where the scam starts.
What do you mean?
What's the name of your company?
Well,
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. I live in Grand Rapids.
Through
Like
that.
I have my own LLC, but
Okay, so then what's your LLC?
why? I don't understand.
Well, of course you don't, because an upright company would be able to disclose who they are and what they are, and with no strings attached. But obviously you're not, so there's something going on here.
Okay, I guess my question is my name's Ronald Walker. I live in Grand Rapids. I buy properties around here quite frequently, but it doesn't seem like you want to sell. I mean, how can I steal your property? Is that what you're afraid of? I mean, what's going on?
No, I'm just sick of this company keep on calling me, and obviously you got a connection with them, and it's a marketing avenue. I get it, but I
Right.
wouldn't be tagged up with them. Yeah, it's just.
Yeah, no, I apologize first off that, you feel like, hey, what the heck is going on? The other thing is it probably not the same company. Like there's a lot of investors call, like, for instance, property I just bought or I just put under contract in Cedar Springs, Cedar Springs. Like that guy had like 25 calls, right, from multiple people all over. So it's probably not all just one company. There's like 2,000 investors around Grand Rapids. And so they're all reaching out to people looking. So it's probably not just one company. That's why I'm kind of, back and forth. It's probably from multiple people, multiple angles all over. I'm just the first one that's like willing to dig in with you and be like, dude, what are you really thinking?
Yeah, no, I get it.
So,
all right, well, thank you for your time.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it, Bruce. Have a good Christmas. Lincoln Lake. So on things like that, guys, where someone's like really nervous, right? Like, hey, this is a scam, blah, blah, blah. Just dig in, right? If you get weird, they're going to think it's more of a scam. But if you're like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, I'm a local guy. Right? Like, what are you worried about? Okay, well, this is what's really happened. There's like 2,000, right? And so if you just dig in and talk to him, you can kind of diffuse it, right? It's not that he's still frustrated, but just remove it, right? Remove it from the list and just call it from there. And it sounds like a whole bunch of people are calling him. And like in our cold sales system, when someone says not interested or, hey, don't call me, we remove them. So our guy called, he said yes, because he's like, oh, I'm going to figure out who this scam is. And it just came to me. So it's not a big deal. Just keep on going. So But on the list stuff, guys, yeah, a lot of people get caught up on, hey, lists and leads, and do you have the right one? Are you operating correctly? Like, what's going on? Make sure you get in the hottest list. Like, the key is not so much the lists, although you want to make sure you're getting good leads, right? But a lot of the lists are the same. You can find a lot of this stuff all over, guys. The key really is just the consistency. A lot of time, like I've made 36 calls this morning, right?
Hello, this is Jay.
Hey, Jay, this is Ronald Walker. I was calling about your property in Spring Lake.
Yes.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were interested in buying that. I think you spoke to my assistant a couple days ago about it.
Probably.
Okay. What does that mean? No, or
I've seen so many properties. I don't even know which one you would be referring to.
okay. The one I'm calling, the one that's at least in front of me right now, is the one on Scenic Drive. So I'm an investor, so I might not be a good fit. I'm not a good fit for everybody, but I am. I can come in and make a cash offer, or purchase it fairly quickly. Do you want to sell it or no?
Oh, okay. Okay, I thought you were trying to sell me a house.
No. I'm trying to buy a house.
Okay. Yes, we would sell it.
Okay.
It's one of the best places. I mean, our road is a short road with a cul-de-sac.
Okay.
In one of the top school districts in the country. We've got 4,000 square feet finished, 6 bedrooms, 5.5 bathrooms. No, 5 bathrooms. And we're really in the driver's seat on this one.
Yeah.
So, if somebody wants to come in and avoid, a bidding war and all that kind of crap, I've placed the bottom line at 600.
600K.
Yep.
Is this one a condo?
No, it's a freestanding home, but there's a 3-street condo association.
Gotcha. Okay, I understand.
So, we pay dues. It's only like a couple $100 a year, and that's they keep telling us that's just in case we have to have our roads redone. And then this summer, the city screwed up and they redid our road for free.
That's awesome. Don't you love how well they're organized?
Oh my gosh, yes. Our road didn't even need redoing.
That's
there was
funny.
nothing wrong with it.
Gosh. Okay.
But, yeah, we've got a choice property, and it's just going to increase in value. So we're not going to let it go cheap.
Right. So let me ask you this. So I'm an investor here in the Grand Rapids area, right? So I'm looking for something I can make money on, like just being straight up.
Right.
Like that's what I'm doing. So in something like this, at a $600,000 purchase price, I've got another one on 4 acres that's fairly big in Grand Rapids proper, North Grand Rapids. It's got a skyline of Alpine. And what we did with her is same thing. She's like, look, this property's really nice. It's in a really good area. It's in a good school district. A cash offer is about $80,000 less than what she would take. So what we worked out is if I bought the property, or I'm actually under contract right now. I haven't purchased it yet, but I'm actually buying it with owner financing. Would that be something you would be open to? Like if I came up to the 600K, would you owner finance it to me?
Yeah, that might work actually, because we have to find 2 more places to buy. So
okay. So if we were to do owner financing, typically people want to know, hey, what the monthly payment is and what a down payment would be. How much cash do you guys need? If you're looking at, I'm guessing it's a separation. I don't mean to get if there's 2 more places, that's
exactly what it is.
Okay. So what do you guys need as far as out of this property, and how would you guys split it? Because it can kind of get, I just, if it's going through that direction with you guys, then it's okay. Usually there's money that needs to be split out, and then whatever the monthly payment, who's getting the property on a cash basis long term. What would you guys think you need?
Well, here's the thing. Neither one of us can afford this property alone.
Okay.
So therefore, we have to pull the equity out, split it, and then buy something from there.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, and we're at the point where we're like, okay, it's been hard to find a couple places.
Yeah.
That's why when you called and I was a little taken aback, was because I was trying to think of which property I may have
looked at.
Been interested.
Right. No, that makes sense.
But,
so let me ask this. So if we were to do a financing like that, okay, there's a couple different things. If there's a mortgage on it, which it sounds like there is, that's not a problem. We can take over that mortgage. And essentially, we leave it in place, and I make the payments for you. Then what we can do is whatever the equity is, we would either come to an agreement where, I can give you cash for that equity, and it basically keeps my cash on cash return low and allows me to take the property over for a payment, or I give you a portion of it and I give you guys, a monthly payment for the rest. So I guess my question is, in this case, if it's a $600,000, let's just assume a $600,000 purchase, what type of mortgage would I be taking over? What are the terms and what does it look like?
I want to say we're under 260.
Okay.
And the interest is between 3 and 4.
Okay, so that's pretty good. What's the payment on it?
Right now, we do a payment every 2 weeks of like $1,250.
Okay, so about $2,400. 2 weeks. Okay, so you guys have got, in this case, you got about $400,000 in equity.
Right.
Okay. Out of that 400,000, are you hoping to get all of that cash, or would you work with me if I did like a 10% down payment and then paid you out monthly for the rest?
I don't know.
Okay.
See, we're going to need cash to put down on new properties.
Yeah. Absolutely. 100%.
We don't have that kind of cash, enough for both of us to do something like that.
Right.
So where we are is, we're going to need that cash out in order to move forward.
Yeah. Yeah. And so something like that,
what scenario works best.
Yeah. So something like that, if you guys need the 400K, which it sounds like just with everything that happens, that's probably the best option. I mean, I'm probably, just being straight up with you, bro, I'm probably not the best option for you, right? Because obviously I'm coming in and it doesn't make sense for me to put 400 down for a $200,000 mortgage. It doesn't really give me the same, from an investor standpoint, it doesn't give me the same cash on cash return that I'd be looking for out of a property like yours, right?
Now, other than the fact that you could flip it instantly for $650. I mean, I'm not highballing.
Yeah. Absolutely. 100%. And if I could flip it for $650, here's the thing. On a $600,000 property, I'm going to pay $60,000 in fees just to sell it. Right. With a realtor, with commissions, with any updates I got to do. Plus I'm paying the closing costs on your side, right? For the closing costs on your side. So just in transaction fees on a purchase the size of yours, just to buy it and then turn around and sell it. I mean, we're talking, and with cash, coming in and lender fees for me because I got a private lender that we partner on stuff. Like I'm going to have to pay lender fee. I mean, I'm going to be 90 grand in the deal, right? So I'm not going to make any money. I'll lose money if I do it at that rate. And so, yeah, you can buy it at 600 and sell it for 650. But that $50,000 spread, that all goes in fees on a purchase price as high as yours. And so, so something like that, I would recommend if I was in your shoes sitting on a prime property is like find a realtor who's going to do a freaking amazing job staging it and, and just make the thing look beautiful and put it out there. I mean, you're in Spring Lake, like you said, you're in a hot area. You have a really good spot. I would say, man, I would say make it look pretty and just try to squeeze every dollar out of it you can.
No, I was just entertaining this as, if it worked out, it worked out.
Right.
I know what to do with the property, but, it was just one of those things where somebody calls and asks if I want to sell it. And I was like, this has happened before. So I put the number to it and that's where I'm at. Yeah,
no, that's good, man. That's good. Well, Jay, I appreciate your time, man. I appreciate just talking. I hope you guys have a good Christmas, and I'm sorry, you guys are going through a crazy situation, but
no biggie.
All right, man. Well, hey, if anything changes or you find yourself, man, feel free to give me a buzz.
Okay, I will.
All right, take it easy, bro. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. That was Jay Ross. One of the things about being live, guys, is a lot of the times I feel the need to explain everything to you. Unfortunately, I'm just going about normal business, right? Like it's not necessarily glamorous. Vask Tech. I don't know what the heck that is, bro. I'm just here working. I decided, last week, hey, I can just go live and I can have fun while I'm talking to you guys. So, and while I'm doing this. So we've made 37 calls this morning so far. We've talked to 4 people. We've talked to more, but we've had 4 conversations so far with people. Let's see, flip over here to Facebook. I am actually going to have to jump off here in a little bit. What's up, Cole? I'm going to, I got to call one of my dispo guys. We're going to go over a couple of properties that we're looking to sell. So let's see what we can do. I also have to execute an assignment on some acreage. That's going to be a pretty good deal for us to do that. Hopefully close that by Friday or middle of next week. And then jump back in. But I would say, we're at 40 calls, 39 calls. 4 conversations. We're doing pretty good. I'd like to have maybe 1 or 2 more conversations would be sweet. Let's see. What's this?
Hello?
Hey, is this Daniel?
Yes.
Hey, Daniel. This is Ronald Walker. I was calling about your property on Jerome in Grand Rapids.
Okay.
I was wondering if you're interested in selling that, man. You sound skeptical.
Yeah, yes, and everyone that's come look at that, they offered me $50,000 less than what it's worth, and I'm not letting it go that way.
Right. I totally understand. Well, hey, I'm a local investor. I'm not going to say I'm going to lowball you. I'm just looking for good properties at good prices here in Grand Rapids. What do you want for it? Like what price? I mean, I'm sure you had a realtor look at it or something. Like what price is a good price?
I'm not certain because it does need a little bit of work done to it. And I have the material to do it.
Okay.
I'm handicapped.
Okay.
I'm handicapped, so it's like I need what do you call it, paint, trim, and some carpet put down.
Paint, trim, and
What
some
I
carpet.
Yeah, I got the carpet, I got the padding, the tack rags for it, I got the paint, I got the trim,
So
I got everything to complete it.
okay, so
Both me and my wife are handicapped,
okay.
so
Well,
it takes me longer to do stuff.
Yeah, no, that's totally fine. Let me ask you this: like, are you guys living there? Or is it a tenant, or like, what's the situation? Like, catch me up to speed on everything you're trying, like, about the property and what you're trying to accomplish, and let's see if we can work together.
Right now, me and my wife are living here.
Okay.
Okay, and I wanted to sell it to buy some property up north.
Okay.
Because I want to get out of Grand Rapids. It's getting too big.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Where at up north?
Up like Gladwin.
Okay, nice.
I found a restaurant up there I want to buy. And what do you call it? What people are offering me is less than what that restaurant costs. And
Okay.
I need to be able to get that restaurant.
Gotcha. So that's really what's driving it. How much is the restaurant?
About 95,000.
Nice. What kind of restaurant? What kind of food, bro?
It's what do you call it? It's been closed for over a year, but it's a family diner.
Okay.
You know, basically breakfast and lunch.
Nice.
And the place is what do you call it? Owned by a couple for like 45 years, and they sold it to somebody that ran it down.
Oh, that's hard.
Yeah. And see, I was a cook for 17 and a half years.
Okay.
So I know what I'm doing in a restaurant.
Yeah. So it sounds like it could just be a really good fit for you guys.
Yeah.
Okay. So 95 is what you need for the restaurant. So you said you have the materials for the property. Give me what about the major stuff on it, like the roof, the basement, the furnace, the plumbing, that stuff.
The roof is approximately 6 years old.
Okay.
Okay, I put all brand new. I gutted the house out completely.
Okay.
It's got all brand new wiring, new plumbing, new furnace, all new heat ducts in it. It used to have a floor furnace.
Oh yeah.
I put a 95% efficiency furnace in.
Okay.
I had to put all the heat ducts in it and that there too. It's all the drywall is new.
Yep.
You know, it took me 133 sheets of drywall to do the house.
Okay.
It's insulated. It's what do you call it? All new doors, windows. What do you call it? New siding on it.
You put a lot of work into this thing, man.
Yeah. Because when I bought it and started it, and that there, I wasn't planning on selling it.
Okay.
And Grand Rapids started getting bigger, and what do you call it? Trouble started happening in the neighborhood, and it's like I don't want to be in the neighborhood anymore.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you've run into some of those problems.
Yeah, I'm just about ready. You know, I'm close to retirement, so it's like I want to get out of the city. I want to get into a small community.
Yeah. Okay. So I am an investor, right? I'm a local guy. I'm not trying to come in and buy this thing for 20 cents, 20 cents on the dollar and crazy low ball you. Like I'd like to come to a fair price. But at the same time, I'm willing to tell you, hey, this isn't a good fit for me, and I don't know if it's going to be. I want to make sure, are you okay telling me that too? Like, hey, I don't want to do this or whatever. You're okay telling me that, right?
Yeah.
So let me ask you this then. If that's the case, how are you and your wife going to know, like, how are you going to make the decision of, hey, this is the direction we want to go? Like, what does that look like for you guys?
Oh, that's easy. We just want to get the hell out of Grand Rapids and we want to get up north.
Okay. And And you know, when it comes to the price here, what do you want? Like, I'm looking at stuff in the area. I mean, what do you want for it? Like, if I was to come in, you know, a fair price, I was to pay the closing costs, you're avoid the realtor, we would do a straight deal, make it easy. I don't know if you have a mortgage or anything or not. You know, I was to take over the work. I mean, what's a price you'd feel comfortable with, or what's the least you'd take for it?
Well, I'm not really sure because, you know, what do you call it? The work that needs to be done is like, I mean, it could be, you know, everything but the carpet could be done in one day.
Yeah.
You know. So.
Well, I'll shoot you straight. All right. So I'll tell you. So I'm buying properties here in your little pocket. Okay. So like, I haven't bought one right there in your area, but I've bought them pretty close. Okay.
Yeah.
Like around this area, especially next to 131. You know, I know you're right over by Burton. You know, I'm essentially looking for properties between essentially 75 and like 115. Okay. Just depending on the amount of work that it needs. That's what I'm looking to pay. We've purchased a number of them. You know, we'd be able to come in with cash. Like I said, it'd be a straight deal, and we could work on like a move out time for you guys. Obviously, you said you need at least 95 for the restaurant. I'm assuming you guys need a little bit more than that just to move and everything too. So, you know, I'm not 100% we're the right people, but I am looking to buy a property, you know, at least put one under contract before Christmas. That's why I'm calling around right now. But, you know, and start off this next year as a property I can hold. What do you think? Like, would you guys take something in that range, or?
Well, you heard of Hometown, right?
I'm not familiar with Hometown. No.
They're one that buys houses and that. I've turned down a offer for 105 from them.
Okay.
Because, you know, I know it's worth more than that.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't know if we're 100% the right fit, but I do know I'm a local guy and I want to purchase something. So, you know, if you were to sell to me, why would you? And if not, you can just tell me no and I'll go away and you know that. But if you were to sell to me, why would you?
Well, it'd have to be all cash. I know that.
Okay. Which I can do.
And what do you call it? I'd have to have probably 30 days to move.
Okay. So you need 30 days. And is that 30 days after we close, or is that 30 days from the time we put it under contract?
Depending on how long it take to close from contract time.
Okay. So basically, if we put it under contract, you guys would start moving, basically. And if not, that's cool. I'm just asking. Like, I can do either way. So I'm just trying to ask.
It'd probably be after closing.
Okay.
It probably wouldn't take me that. Probably wouldn't take 30 days after closing to move.
Okay. So we'll say 30 days max after closing, because you guys are going to start the process before we close.
Right.
Okay. So 30 days. What else? How are you and your wife going to feel good about this? What, you know, if it was me or anybody, you know, even if it's not me, what would make you feel good about it?
Just getting out of Grand Rapids.
Okay. So if I buy it, you'll be able to get out of Grand Rapids. So, man, we might be able to work together on that, bro.
Yeah.
So you really want to get out of Grand Rapids?
Yes.
What price would make you warm and fuzzy on the inside?
I'm not sure. I have to talk it over with my wife.
Okay. So there's not a magical number that you guys know that I could come in and pay and you guys, because I'd love to be able to purchase it and and see if you guys really want to sell and you guys are really serious about moving forward. I'm really serious about buying and coming to a price that works for both of us. You're definitely pushing the top of my range. I know you guys declined an offer for 105. I'm totally okay with that. Like, that's not a problem for me. So assuming I could pay all cash, assuming I could give you guys 30 days after closing, I could help get you guys out of Grand Rapids. You guys have the property, the 95,000 to pay and a little bit extra. I mean, if we're able to do everything we talked about, like with that, I mean, what would be our next step?
Getting it going.
Okay. Would what price do you, if I offered you, I mean, if I could do that and make it easy for you, and obviously you need to talk to your wife. I totally understand that, right? I mean, would you guys take 105 or no?
Probably not.
Okay. What would you guys take?
Because I've already turned it down.
Right. What would you guys take? I really want to buy, like, I like that area right there, so I'm flexible on price. Okay. I'm flexible. I'm willing to come to an agreement that works for both of us. Is it a 3-bedroom or is it a 2-bedroom?
Okay. What it is, it's basically, it's a 2-bedroom. It could actually be made into a 4-bedroom.
Okay.
Because the house used to have a garage with it, separated from the house.
Yep.
The people before me connected it to the house. Okay. And what I did is I basically made it to where the garage, the way I wired it, it could be hooked up. It could be, if there's a wall like a double wall in between, which would give each bedroom a closet, it could be turned into 2 more bedrooms.
Okay.
It's completely connected to the house now.
Gotcha.
Because the floor was like, how garages, the floors are down farther.
Mm-hmm.
I raised the floor up 8 inches to make it almost even with the rest of the house.
Gotcha.
And,
so you really made them work well together.
Yeah, and what do you call it? In between where the normal house was and the garage is a hallway with the back door.
Okay.
If you open up the door, the one door to the one part to the garage area, where it used to be garage area, is right there, and then down further is another opening. Because right now it's like a second living room. You can walk in one side and walk out the other.
Yeah.
And the regular living room to the house has a fireplace.
Okay.
And so.
Gotcha.
I made it to where, because I was going to use that room for a game room.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, because me and pinball machines kind of go together. Anyway.
I like it. That's awesome. Do you have one?
At one time, I used to.
Okay.
I had 9 of them in that room at one time.
Wow, 9 of them, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah, the room right now is like 10 by 22.
Okay.
And you could cut, if you put a double wall in between and put a closet for each room would be like 10 by 10.
Okay.
And like the other 2 bedroom, one's 12 by 12 and one's 8 by 15.
Gotcha. Okay, so one's 8 by 15. All right. So yeah, no, that makes sense. That I appreciate you giving me the update on that. Does it have any electrical or plumbing problems?
It's all brand new.
It's all brand new. Okay, cool. I like to hear that.
The only part of the plumbing that ain't brand new is from the house to the road.
Okay.
That's the only part that's not new.
So what's going to happen if I'm not your buyer?
I'll get the rest of it finished and what do you call it? Try to list it then.
Okay. So hire a realtor and put it on the market.
Yeah, I heard there's a way that you put it on the MLS without being a realtor.
Yeah, you can do it. It's called a net listing. So you can basically, you just pay like, between $200 and $400 and they'll put it up for you. And then you just get it. You just get all the calls, and you would work with the buyer agent and essentially just work with the buyer agent and cut out your agent.
Yeah.
If you wanted to do that and just kind of walk through it. So, all right. So what, I guess we're circling back around. I mean, I don't know how much higher I could go, but if you give me a price, I can talk to my partner and we can see if we're willing to buy this thing from you, man. Like, what do you think you and your wife would want?
I'm not sure. I'd have to ask her.
Okay.
I mean, I'd have to talk to her.
So why don't we do this? Why don't you talk to her? You figure it out. Figure out what you guys are asking, right? I'll see if I can come up to that. I'll talk to my partner. I'll see what we can do. When's a good time for us to follow back up with each other and talk about it?
Could be later on tonight, tomorrow.
Okay. I can give you a call later on today. It's Daniel, right?
Yes.
Daniel, my name's Ronald Walker.
Okay.
So why don't you guys come up with a price, figure out what you're willing to do. It'd be a straight deal, so it'd be a cash transaction. If it doesn't work, dude, like I said, I'm willing to tell you no. I hope you're willing to tell me no. But I'm looking for a good property to buy, in Grand Rapids, and I like your area. So why don't we just go from there?
Oh, okay.
All right, man. I'll give you a call either later on today. If I'm not able to get to it today, I'll give you a call tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. You're the man.
Good. Yep.
Thank you.
Talk to you later.
Sweet. All right. So that one, I would say that's not, it was a good conversation. He was saying all the right things. But my gut just tells me there's something weird there. I don't 100%. He wants to move. Obviously the diner is cool, right? That he wants to move up north. He wants to get out of Grand Rapids. He's saying he wants to leave right away, but then he's saying, it's not really that big of a deal. So I don't know what's there. I'll just keep plugging away. I couldn't get a price out of him. That one, it's in a pretty sweet area. I would say, ARV, it is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. He said it could be converted to a 4. It is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, which really hurts that area. I've got a 143 ARV. If it was a 3-bedroom, I've got up to 180. If it was a 3-bedroom, it'd be super sweet. But it's 140. It's probably not a great deal based on what he's telling me. It doesn't sound like it needs a ton of work, but once you get in some of that stuff, it'll be more than what it's looking at. It's probably my guess is a $20,000 to $30,000 rehab. Yeah, we'll just follow up and kind of see and just keep working it. I didn't pitch owner financing to him because he said he needed the cash for the restaurant. So let's grab the address and put it in a follow-up. I don't know if you guys can hear. We got a piano in the background. My kids are gradually learning how to play. I actually played for a good amount of time yesterday. I played a little bit when I was a kid, not a ton, but a little bit. So I'm going to do follow-up. Last contact was today. Follow-up date we'll do today as well. So yeah, just kind of getting up and playing some piano, and the kids are learning. They really like it. So although I'm super sore from moving, I got a big bruise on my leg from this weekend. One of my guys came over and from my team and helped me move it. So all right. Let's It's 11:19. Let's see. We're almost at the 2-hour mark. We got 10 minutes for 2 hours here. I usually try to do about what it's been doing is about a 2-hour block here. So, and I get pretty tired, guys. Like doing this live, I got this light in my face. Talking to you guys the whole time, talking to sellers, like it really is. It's draining, right? You're plugging away and you're doing it. But we made 42 calls. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 conversations on properties. I would say one of them, one of the first conversations we had today, the land.
Hello?
Yeah, is this Paul?
Yeah?
Hey, Paul, this is Ronald Walker. I was calling you about your property in Orchard in Muskegon.
Oh, okay.
Sounds like you don't want to talk to me. You talked to my assistant the other day. I was just wondering if you wanted to sell.
Depends. What are you going to give me for it?
I don't know. What do you want for it?
More than what you can give me.
Yeah. What do you think it's worth? Have you had a realtor kind of look at it and tell you what it's worth, or do you know what it's worth in the area?
Pretty much. I know it's probably at least worth around 75.
Okay. Gotcha. I'm buying in Muskegon pretty much. I am an investor, so I'm looking for something I can make money on. But what do you want for it? Do you want 75 or do you want 60 or do you want 100? I mean, what are we talking?
Well, actually, I was going to sell it last month or 2 months ago, and then now, because I got a renter in there,
okay,
I didn't want to get him out for Christmas, so I figured I'd wait another probably 6 months.
Okay, and just hold it as a rental.
For about 6 months, yeah.
Gotcha.
Sell it.
No, that makes
But
sense.
it's a bad time of year to be pushing people out.
Right. Yeah. No, you don't want to do that. So
No.
that makes sense. In 6 months, if you sell it, would you be open to owner financing it, or would you just want to sell it cash?
Actually, cash.
Okay.
Get it done with.
Okay. No, that's cool. All right, man. Well, like I said, I'm looking for something. I'm trying to put something under contract before Christmas and, start off the new year strong. You know how it goes. So
There can't be too much left, though.
what's that?
There can't be too many left around.
Oh man, I've got a couple opportunities I'm looking at right now. I'm trying to judge. I'm the way I like to put it, I'm a tiger in the woods. So I'm gonna get something. It's just a matter of what it is.
Gotcha.
So I'm on the hunt.
Price wise, I'm thinking because everybody's buying this stuff up because they want a house.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I would say right now it's going. The sales prices aren't as hot as they were even 6 months ago, as far as like how fast things are selling. But
yeah.
and when it snows, it slows down a little bit as far as sale time and such. But yeah, man, I'm calling around. If you're waiting 6 months, that's totally cool. But I'm looking. I want to get a property or two before Christmas. So
let me at least take your name down here.
yeah, it's
phone because I didn't. Hold on, you gotta get a pen. My memory won't remember anything.
Hey man, if I rely on my memory, I'll forget too. My wife was just telling me her uncle tried calling me like a month ago, and I forgot to call him back. And she's like, "He thinks you're mad at him," and I was like, "Oh man, I'm not mad at him. I just forgot."
I did that a lot.
Okay,
yeah.
Is
this a good number?
Yeah, this will ring my cell phone.
Okay.
Do you got it? Or do you want me to give it to you?
No, I got the number. I just
right.
need the name so I can save it.
Yeah, it's Ronald Walker.
Oh, okay. That's easy enough.
Yeah. So yeah, man, I'm
well,
looking.
I mean, if something comes up or whatever, anything can change. They might move. Who knows? Anything can change. So
absolutely, man.
I'm not gonna rerun it. To put it that way.
Okay.
I've had it for if you looked it up, I've had it for a while. So
yeah.
So yeah, but that's my last one. I've already got rid of the other one. They were on my contract. But she don't want to do none of that stuff, so she just wants to run.
Okay.
So I tried selling it to her, but she just for some reason don't want to buy it.
Yeah.
She wants to stay there and run. I don't understand that philosophy because she should have bought it when I asked her to like 3-4 years ago. It would have been all paid off by now.
Right. Some individuals, they just want to buy. right? Or they just want to rent. They don't necessarily want all the stuff. And, you know, for different people, they have different reasons for wanting to do it. And hey,
Right.
you know, it's to each his own. You know how it goes.
Right.
So
yeah. So I am definitely going to sell.
All right. Well, I'll follow back up with you in a few months and just kind of get you through Christmas and the beginning part of the year and, you know, the dead of winter, and maybe we can touch base. And hey, if something comes up, something changes, give me a buzz. I'd love to shake your hand and meet you and see if there's something we could do. And if it doesn't work out, that's totally cool too, bro.
All right.
All right. Well, Paul, I appreciate it, man. Have a good Christmas.
Yeah, you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. So I think that is good. So I think I'm going to take a break. So, cause I'm getting a little tired. I want to get some coffee, get some stuff in me. I got to follow up with my guy about a couple properties on Dispo. I think that was a pretty good session, guys. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that you could consider a conversation. You could say 7, but you know, that was kind of short. With 6 conversations. Out of the 6 conversations, we've had 1 person that's interested in the teens on a pretty good lot by the lake, which could be pretty cool. Most of the other stuff, I reached out to my Dispo guy on that land that was the 200,000 or the 170. He actually responded to me, said, you know, we'd probably need to sell it around 125, so that's probably not going to work. We'd need it 70 grand cheaper than what that guy is looking at. The rest here, a lot of just people wanting to wait. We've got the one on Jerome. That property, I mean, he was saying the right things, but again, it was just kind of weird, and the ARV is not quite there, so that one's probably not going to work. Other than that, guys, do the same thing. If you guys are here, just call around, talk to people, get people to open up. You don't have to be perfect. Sometimes you get tired, right? It's been 2 hours now, and by the end of it, you get tired. Just stand up, walk around, refresh, jump back in. And work the business. The more you work it, right? Couple hours, we pick up 1 property, we might be able to flip it and make a little bit of money. From a per hour basis for work, it's amazing. You just got to sit down and do the work, right? Like that's really what it takes. A lot of people, when they think of work, they think of going to a job and sitting there for 8 hours, but maybe only working 2. What if you could work 5 hours a day, hard, crazy work, focus in your mind, and make more money than you thought before? Like that's what this is about. So the other thing is, if you guys need help, if you guys want me to call something that you guys have, I'd love to do that too. I'd love to work with you guys and see how that works. Otherwise, I'll jump back on at some point. It might be tomorrow, might be later today, might be sometime. But until next time, peace.